this is going to be a fun one, all decked in white. Let's play pickleball. He's the lefty on the far side, and Craig Johnson, his
0-0-1.
partner.
Second serve.
Little flick down the middle for Johnson there.
0-0-2.
Pushes it deep.
That's a nice poke from Neumann.
Yeah, just work the point, very patient. And, you know, for Lohani, who you see right there, this is one of those things you're like, okay, we've seen your singles. You got to Sunday. What do you do in the rest of it? Because that's where we build a player up and we see, okay, how much more can you do? We'll find out here today.
Well, not nice weather in Minnesota where Lohani is currently training. I'll tell you that much.
No, indoor facilities aplenty there, though, so they're good to go. And just mint weather for us here today.
Absolutely.
Point.
Caught the tape. Lohani will take it. They're on the board first here in game one. Best 2 out of 3. Games to 11 as always. Inside out scoring.
1-0-2.
A lot of driving and crashing from these two very athletic players. There they go again.
Point.
Pressure on Guy. You see Lohani jumping right to the middle of the court. Neumann has returned the favor when the return came to Lohani. I like it. Play
2-0-2.
fast. Put some pressure on your opponent.
Point.
Again, so when we talk about the shake and bake or the drive and crash, certainly you hope to be able to get that second ball and put it away, but you get errors from that too, and that's what's happening here to start this match. There's another one, so.
Point. Timeout receivers.
Or nothing.
4-0-2.
Looking to continue.
You know, I would have encouraged Mr. Johnson to hit a much deeper return to stop the shake and bake, but he hit a very
0-4-1.
shallow return and got a little too antsy. Neumann there pushes it deep. Let's see if they can get on the board now.
Lohani sped it up, was looking to clean it up. Guy was there.
And that's where those stinking lefties with that other forehand in the middle, that's why you want to
1-4-1.
stack and put those there, because that's a ball that would have been a much more difficult shot with a backhand. Great job by Augie, as they call him.
Point.
It's a nice dink from Johnson, pulling Neumann out wide.
So it's a 1-1 on the mano-a-mano cross-court dink battle, so we'll keep an eye on that, because you gain
2-4-1.
confidence from that if you think you own the guy cross-court from you.
Point.
Another nice play from Guy, and they're turning it up on their side, trailing by just 1 now.
Yeah, so you saw Lohani fill the middle with the two-handed backhand, but that ball cannot go right back into the forehand of that man right there.
3-4-1. Second serve.
So the middle dink, when you're
Timeout.
changing it up and
Receivers,
going
3-4-2.
cross-court and leaving, then starting to throw the ball into the kitchen
4-4-1.
and have been the better team at the kitchen. Neumann and Lohani have been terrific with the shake and bake, so we'll see what strategy wins.
Neumann was there for the answer.
Second serve.
That lefty's been causing them some trouble there, though, in the middle.
Yeah, he got away with one there. He sped it up right into the
4-4-2.
forehand, but lived to tell about it, so it's a ball that should usually be put away. I see your shake and bake and raise you a southpaw version of that. Really nice drive. Craig Johnson has very good drives himself, so boy, everybody's scoring a lot here, and Mission Hills, and
5-4-2.
you know, sometimes matches will go like that. You'll have a billion side outs here. We have a lot of people scoring on their serve.
Point.
And you hate to see 4-0 turn into 4-6, but that is what has happened in literally one exchange of the ball here.
That's a good put away for Aanik Lohani, and they needed to halt the 6-point run. Let's see what they can do with this service chance.
Yeah, we'll see the quality of the returns that was getting
4-6-1.
the 21 seed in all sorts of trouble.
Overcooked that one long. Aanik Lohani, a data engineer at US Bank, as we talked about in Vegas when he made that championship run.
Yeah, had all the co-workers like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, playing in a championship pro pickleball final. Good break room chatter there. That stayed, oh, just kicked wide.
I don't have a view.
Alex Neumann is in question of the
Ball
call.
stands.
So the call will stand. We have a moment. Thank our referees for this one, Nancy Packerzino, Nisha Smith, and Michael Kunkis.
6-4-1.
Nice speed up by Guy, the lefty, gobbling it up in the middle.
So that's the danger of dinking middle, because it's really feeding a forehand, and Augie's been on point there and took it inside out too, which is a difficult shot, and Lohani was surprised.
Second serve.
Bad luck off the tape for Craig Johnson there.
7-4-2.
Alex Neumann playing a little singles.
What a play, though, for Guy.
Yes.
The year of the lob, as you say, in 2024.
Love it, love it. And you're going to be able to do that. This ball, you're going to get a little more spin. Obviously, the paddle technology has given us more grit, and it is an offensive lob we're talking about here, not defensive. Get them off that kitchen line. That's a shot Craig Johnson does not need to rush, and sometimes you're like, man, we're going well here. Let's get to that kitchen line. Just need to stop, reset that ball there in the transition area.
4-8-1. Second
And
serve.
what was working so great early in the match, big forehand drives. Now they're catching barely 3 squares up from the bottom of the net, and a couple have hit the scoreboard, so they need to find the range. That one's deep as well.
Set up.
So that's 5 missed forehand drives on very average to below average returns, and this score could be much different if they could find the range. They got to find it quickly.
Point.
So now you've got Craig Johnson going,
Timeout
hey,
receivers,
everything cross court's
9-4-1,
going
1
my
minute.
way.
Johnson
9-4-1.
haven't looked back since trailing 4-0 early in game 1.
Point.
Another miss from Neumann, and game point for Guy and Johnson.
Yeah, great sort of mental wherewithal here, too. They called
10-4-1.
timeout down 4-0 and haven't looked back.
And that is how game 1 will conclude. Guy and Johnson take this one 11-4.
The official ball of the PPA Tour.
it up and said, hey, new ball. So that's all these guys that came from tennis are used to doing that because that happens in tennis. I think that's important with this ball.
Yes.
Always going to be
102.
fresh, good start with the new one, and just a little different. No, said there's a lot of new stuff in the new year.
Set
Help
out.
standardize it, I imagine,
Yeah,
too.
you're going
with
to play it more consistent throughout the entire match. Some of the time, the ball could get a little
0-1-1.
worn, and then players that wanted a slower match could literally dictate strategy that way.
That's a good point. And that was a nice leave there.
No, I think that caught. So I think finally Lohani and Neumann have a forehand that stayed in the court.
1-1-1.
And it may just take making one shot because they were absolutely on fire to start.
Second
And on the
serve.
topic of the ball, not easy to jump into a tournament and just
No.
adjust to the ball that you had no idea you were going to be
1-1-2.
playing with up
Yes.
until a week or so
Some
ago.
of these players are just getting acclimated. They'll get there.
Point.
How would you say it plays compared to, say, a Dura or a Franklin?
Much closer to the Dura, but not quite as fast.
2-1-2.
And, you know, consistently using the new ball after each game will ensure we have that consistency. That's what the players want.
Point.
It is definitely brighter, so it's, you know, they say it's, you know, yellow, but it's almost green to the eye. So I think visually it'll be
3-1-2.
a little easier to see. The Dura could get a little duller in color sometimes.
It's a nice speed up from Neumann. Lohani and Neumann seem
Timeout receivers,
motivated,
4-1-2,
obviously,
1
in
minute.
game two. Serving, the second server on his side.
Time in. 4-1-2.
It's a big ball
out.
from Craig Johnson on the backhand side.
So he went non-passive immediately there and sped up the two-handed back, and he hadn't done it the entire time. So nice little adjustment there out of the timeout. That was the elixir in game one. We'll see if it happens in game two.
And went non-passive again down the line, that time on the forehand side.
So when you run around that, you have two options. You can go very hard inside out or pull that down the line inside in, and Lohani did not see that coming.
2-4-1. Point.
Augie Gee just floated that one in. Neumann wanted the Ernie. Wasn't deep enough.
Yeah, so I do like that Neumann is keeping Guy honest by going behind him now a couple of times with those dinks. Thought he had an opportunity there. That was a great. When you are in trouble, a lot of people panic
3-4-1.
and try and hit the ball too hard. You just want to lay that back into the kitchen away from an Ernie. That was perfect.
Point.
And not to Alex Newman's liking, but this is the exact thing that happened. The cross-court dink battle between him and Craig Johnson
Timeout receivers.
went very
4-4-1.
one-sided
1
the
minute.
other way.
The tie. And causing a similar turning point here. We'll see if they can capitalize on the first serve. There's Lohani finishing with a beautiful inside-out ball down the line.
Yeah, that time Neumann earned the pop-up dink from Johnson and was
4-4-2.
there. And you've got to take advantage. You can't let that ball bounce and play passive pickleball.
Point.
Look at that little lefty hook. Got that ball down at the feet. That was nice.
5-4-2. Set up.
Just didn't finish that one. So they get out of the hole entirely, but the lead is just one. In game one, it just snowballed. This is an important
4-5-1.
service opportunity here. Just, you know, get the lead or tie it up at the very least.
Point.
Take a let cord bounce to tie it at 5.
Got 2 let cords in the middle of that. So we had the firefight, the let cords.
5-5-1. Point.
And a missed return. So just what Lohani and Neumann ordered.
6-5-1.
That stays in too with just enough topspin on the swinging volley from Lohani. And unlike game number 1, they have been able to find the rhythm here in the back half. And let's see if they can take it all the way home or not.
Down the line answer from Neumann, and now a 3-point lead for the 25 seed, Ian Johnson.
Point.
Shake, bake, hit the scoreboard. Everything is going beautifully for them. That was another short return. So
9-5-1.
again, if you feel, oh, look at this high lob serve with some spin. Oh, and Lohani loves that too. He just didn't make it there. Because what you do when you take pace off your serve is you make them have to adjust, and he got exactly what he wanted.
What an answer from Lohani. A two-handed punch back response to your point, and now game point on the side of Lohani and Neumann.
It is truly, you know, a game of styles. It's like a boxing match. You got a guy that likes to counter versus a guy that likes to throw the first blow. And
point game.
Lohani and Neumann will take it, and an 11-5 finish. They flip. Off with first serve, and would love to know after this what gives.
What gives is making that ball right there. Another woefully short return, but Lohani did not make the forehand drive, so it's going to come down to execution. We know what each side wants to do. We saw Guy and Craig Johnson get a little more aggressive when they took that big run in game 1.
Alex Neumann got exactly what he wanted down the middle, and that's the style he likes to play.
Yeah, so he was patient till he forced the pop-up and then did not let that opportunity go by the wayside, and then hit the ball down. Not with tons of pace, but at the feet, that ball's not coming back. Love that tape from Augie there. Just bad luck off the tape, because if you see a dink that's going to sit up like that in the middle of the court, so many options. He went inside out and tagged Lohani earlier in the match, was going to pull that one back behind Alex Neumann. Just unfortunate. And this is the challenge for Lohani and Neumann. That's 2 that Lohani's had that were right in his wheelhouse. Didn't make either one so far.
Wow.
Just Johnson and Geet very fortunate so far. 3 very short returns. That's a layup usually for Lohani with the two-handed backhand poach, but nothing to show for it.
This is the top half of the draw. Winner will face Eric Lang and DJ Young. Colin Johns and Ben Johns also lingering at the top of this one.
1-0-1.
Big, tall men that will get the winner of this.
Second serve.
The other thing you can do, obviously, as you saw there, is you can shake and bake with a drop. And Craig Johnson had a great look at a forehand there. Just couldn't find the court.
Set out.
I don't know if we're tight here in this first match on center in game 3, but the execution has fallen off here to start game 3 for sure.
Inside out counter from Craig Johnson.
Yeah, so the tricky part there is the lob. I love it. It's going to be happening all day long. Is you have a lefty there, so you have to get that ball closer to the sideline, and Alex Neumann wasn't able to do it. And that right there is a classic case of being in a hurry to get to the kitchen. So Alex Neumann was playing a ball where he is in trouble and tried to take 3 steps, wasn't set, and Guy just took advantage of that court positioning. So sometimes you can run yourself into a problem that really doesn't exist.
What a finish for Craig Johnson, cross court to the corner.
So that time it's Johnson that gets the pop-up the other way. So that has been the pattern that is dictating who's going to win this match, literally. And right now, the Arizona boys have a couple to show for it. And those missed drives earlier in the match, you don't really remember when it's 0-0, but it could come back to haunt them.
Neumann stepped in that time to win the battle.
Yeah, you don't get a cross-court scorpion very often, but he did there and got away with a high dink. Johnson took that back cross court, which gave Neumann a little time. I want to take that one at Lohani the next time.
Oh, just wide for Neumann. There's that cross-court battle once more.
Yeah, so then you say, oh, that one looks very enticing right there in the middle of the court. I'm going to pull it, find that backhand of Augie, but Augie knows anything on his right side of his shoulder is going to be out wide, so that's a great leave by him.
Point.
Craig Johnson sped it up quickly there instead of just getting into that slice cross-court dink.
4-0-2.
See how Guy and Johnson respond here out of the break. That's a good response from Neumann to get the serve back on their side. So when that pattern is going in favor of Lohani and Neumann, what's happening?
Craig Johnson is popping up a dink because the spin of Neumann's creating that issue. But it's gone the other way as well.
Point. One. Point.
So that time they choose to drop the ball, which they have not done much at all, that being Lohani and Neumann. And Craig Johnson saw one that sat up. I totally agree with the shot choice. It's just the execution. That ball's got to be down, find the feet like a foot inside the baseline there.
Short return taken advantage of there by Lohani. And still a little bit frustrated, though, with his execution on part of it.
Time out receivers, 3-4-1, 1
chat
minute.
With Lohani.
Aanik Lohani, based out of Minnesota, an engineer, data engineer.
Yeah, smart dude and very good player.
Works supportive of this pro pickleball journey, by the way. Love that. That's a good ball from Guy. Fast hands, former University of Arizona tennis player.
Yes, so fortunate, though. Man, they got to get these returns deeper into the court. I mean, they're just begging for the onslaught. They're like, come on up to the kitchen and smoke the ball at us. I mean, see if Johnson can. I mean, they're just firing away here, and you cannot win when that is what the point looks like. Another one, woefully short. They choose to drop it. So that was a shot selection mistake from the shot that he chose. Got to keep driving it. They've been backing up as you got this match even. So
4-4-1.
4 apiece. We'll switch ends at 6.
Inside out goes Lohani down the line.
Seen that a couple times. That's a hard shot to read because you see a big swing, but he drags his left half of his body and just lets the paddle travel behind. That's really well done from Lohani.
Point.
This is a big rally right here because got a little wonky there for Guy and Johnson. Big opportunity to take the lead on the switch.
Guy with a big play down the line on Neumann. Now a 2-point lead.
Timeout, change in. 6-4-2.
Shane Johnson and a 2-point lead in game 3. Looking to close it out and punch their ticket through to the round of 32.
6-4-2.
Neumann did everything he could to get Guy out of position, speeding it up. Couldn't execute. Now a 3-point lead.
7-4-2.
What that shot from Guy shows you is like, we want the
Timeout
cross-court
receivers,
pattern.
8-4-2,
Guy's not
1
going
minute.
to take it back cross-court to Lohani. They got to get the ball back, though, right now.
8-4-2.
Down the line goes Guy on Neumann. Make it 9-4 on the side of the 21 seed.
Just they're playing smart pickleball down the stretch here.
Looking for a date with Eric Lang and
9-4-2.
DJ Young in the round of 32. What a ball from
Match
Guy.
point.
The Arizona boys heating up late, and now match point on their side to show for it.
10-4-2.
What a ball from Neumann. Left court advantage, but
No, the
still
longest
smart.
point of the match, and then Augie lost his mind there. That's a ball he just wants to lay back into the court after that great get off the net court. That was so shallow. Sometimes there's no angle that you can get that back, but tremendous run. So all the firepower's got to go right now. And Neumann got what he wanted, but a little too much from Johnson.
4-10-2.
Just wide on the left cord for Neumann, and a side out. Guy and Johnson with match point number 2.
Match point. 10-4-1. Point game match.
Augie Guy.
Welcome back to the beautiful Rancho Mirage, California at the PPA Hyundai Masters here at the Mission Hills Country Club. We just finished men's doubles. We have our winners, Augie Guy, Craig Johnson, taking out Lohani and Alex Neumann in a great men's doubles matchup. Welcome in Cameron Blackwood alongside Matt Manassi. Starting with you, Craig. Such a great lefty-righty combo you guys had there. How did this partnership come about?
I think I just was begging for Augie to play with me, like any guy. Anybody in Phoenix knows Augie's the guy, and I'm fortunate to play with him. He's like a king among men in Phoenix. So he's the guy, and it worked out.
Speaking of king in Phoenix, played at Arizona Tennis, graduated a couple years ago. How's that transition been from the tennis court to pickleball?
Oh, it's been awesome. So I actually took a couple years of grad school on the East Coast, and I played table tennis when I was in grad school, so that's also helped my transition a lot. So yeah, I think my background gives me a good advantage for sure.
And then Craig, I saw it in the match. You had the upper hand against Alex Neumann going cross-court in those dink battles. Was that the pattern you were looking for? It certainly worked in game number 3.
Yeah, I think for us, we're always trying to get the ball in front of Augie as much as possible. It's like the first ever passive left side roll in pickleball, because he's a dominant guy and he's a lefty, so I just give him a bunch of court and let him do his thing.
And how important is it for you guys to come out here and have a great showing? First tournament, 2024, it's a slam to get those points.
Oh, it's so important. Like you said, we're just chasing points. We're not signed or anything, so we're trying our best out here. Not yet, yeah. So, no, it's very important, but we've been gearing up all off-season for this. So
where's Connor Pardo? Can we get these guys?
Let's get him out of here. Where's the contract?
We'll get it out. So, round of 32, Eric Lang, DJ Young next. I don't know if you guys look ahead at the draw. Tell us about that matchup, what you're looking for.
Yeah, so I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we just talked to Eric. I think DJ might have had a wrist injury, and I don't know. We might. Hopefully, it's not a walkover. That's the thing that we don't want. But anyways, we know their games. Both crazy good hands. DJ's got all sorts of filth in the kitchen with that forehand and backhand he can do. I think his ceiling is the best in the game. And then Eric's just a complete rock and wall. So we'll see. We don't know what's going on right now. That's just kind of what we heard as we're stepping on court. Then we're in the back of the head. We're thinking, oh man, we get this. This is exciting. We're on. But I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. So either if it's Steckel and Tyson or Eric and DJ, we're
easy
excited.
Wins.
Easy. Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Easy.
Yeah, right.
Easy wins. And speaking of, we do have that new ball. We have that Vulcan out. How is that playing for you guys today?
I personally like it. I think it favors our game because I'm the boring, slow dink guy. So, nobody really likes watching me play, but it slows it down, and in that way, we get all the hands battles in front of Augie. So I enjoy that ball. I think it's heavier. It's easier to see. I think it's great for the game.
Awesome. Speaking of new rules, the serve change. It's been the last couple weeks. Some people found out, a couple days ago. Yesterday. Welcome to the new serve. It's here. How do you feel about it? It's just being tested this week.
Yes.
It's not something that may go on in the future. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, I just started doing it a couple days ago, and it's been interesting for sure. I've had some very chill refs who have helped me with my technique on it, so I think I've been clean for the most part. But yeah, it's changed the game a little bit for sure. Yeah.
And like you said, moving on, is this a partnership we're going to see beyond this week?
As long as I can have it, I'm doing it. Yeah, no.
Absolutely, yeah. We're slotted to play the 2 Arizona PPAs together as well. I just love playing with Craig. So
And back home to Arizona.
Yeah, exactly.
Get some of those Augie cheers going for you.
I love it.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
An
you.
incredible win. You guys are still in it. We are going to have more doubles action coming for you right after this here at the PPA Hyundai.